So hello guys, I'm Mohammad Akif Jamal, and in this video I'm going to discuss about the problem called Chef and Groups from Codechef Long Challenge March of 2021. Those who haven't solved this yet, I'm going to just read this problem statement very quickly. So there are n seats in a row. You are given a string S with length n. For each valid I, the item character of S is either 0 if the item seat is empty or 1 if there is someone sitting in that seat. Okay, so we have given a string of 0 and 1. Okay, two people are friends if they are sitting next to each other. Two friends are always part of the same group of friends. Can you find the total number of groups? Okay, the constraints is very simple. For test case we can have 50 test cases, and we can have the number of zeros and ones. That means the number of the length of the string as maximum of 10 to the power 5. So we can traverse this easily without getting any TLE in a single loop. Okay, the subtask, only one subtask, and we can see the test case is number of test cases 4, and we'll get 4 strings. As the number of test cases 4, we get 4 strings. Okay, first string's length is 3, then the second length is 3, third length is also 3, the fourth length, I don't know how much the length is, it's bigger than 3. Okay, so that's not a problem. So what does this problem actually mean? So as we can see here, if two people are friends and sitting next to each other, then they are of the same group. We don't need to count more than one group for them. Like if 3 people are sitting next to each other, they are in one group. If 2, they are in one group. If more than that, they are also in one group. So if we get a continuous occurrence of 1, like 1 1 1 1 1, we don't need to keep adding in the count of groups. They are all in the same group. But if we get a 1 0 1 0 1 0, then we can get like no 2 1 or no two friends are sitting to each other, so they are not from the same group. We can see this like from here also. Okay, let me try to describe you here. So the first test case, or the only test case is given here, is like this. Like they have given us 4 test cases and 0 0 0 for the first one, and maybe for 0 1 0 for the second one, and maybe 1 0 1. Okay, for the third one. The last one is a little bit long, so I might take some time. 0 1 0 1 1. 0 1 1 0. And then we maybe have 4 ones and a 0. Okay, so yeah, the last one is a longer one. So for the first test case, if we try to see, it's have 0 0 and 0 triple 0. So when we traverse this, we get no 1, actually no occurrence of the value 1, nothing, no 1 here, no 1 here, no 1 here, so only zeros. So we can say that this, in this particular sequence, we don't have any group, so group equals 0. Okay, as we can see the result or output, yes, we have 0 group. Okay, the first one. Okay, let's see the second test case now. This one, This one shows 0 1 0. So when we keep traversing this, we first get a 0, so we don't need to keep that in group count. We can say this group as group. Then we get a 1, so yeah, this is a group. Do we have any other one here? No, so we don't need to add anything to this group, or actually we'll see that if this was a 1, then we still won't count here, because they would be in the same group then if there was a 1. So yeah, I'll discuss that later. But as we have a 0 here, we don't need to do anything either. And if we go further traversing, we will see that there's nothing left in this array. So yeah, we just need to print the current result of group. This should be printed, and this is our result. And if you can see, yeah, the second answer is 1. Okay, so let's try to see the third test case. Again, I can't show you the code really, but I will try to describe as much as I can, so that it becomes very easy for you to understand and to solve. And I'll provide you, or I will give you the hints, and will let you know what type of things you need to learn to solve the further tougher problems. So in this third test case, we have 1 0 1. If we keep traversing this, we get a 1 from here. So if we get the group value as g, then 1, we have a 1, so we add it to this. Initially we will declare g as 0. Okay, then we get a 0 actually. So this is interesting. This 0 is separating this guy from this guy. So this 0 is actually creating two groups, not one. This is like group 1 and this is group 2. Okay, so we have to, when we get a 1 after a 0, then we also have to add that in the group count, and which will give us 2, as we don't have anything further to traverse. So the answer for this will be 2. I mean the third test answer will be 2. Okay, we get a 2 here. Okay, and the last test case, if I haven't write this wrong, then we will get correct answer here as well. Okay, so the last test case is something like that. We won't repeat this. Okay, we will traverse here. So we declare the g as 0 and keep adding in the g. So first we get to 0, I mean the first index, and we get a 0, so we don't need to add anything to the g. Then we go to the next index and we'll get a 1. So yeah, this is a group. Let's add it. Then we'll go to 0. So no, this is not a friend or a group. So yeah, we don't need to add. But then we go to 1. Yes, this is another group, as it has a 0 before it, so we add it. But then when we go to this one, we get another 1. But do we need to add another group here? No, because they are adjacent to each other and they are friends, so they are standing together, and as they are standing next to each other, so they are of same group, and we have already added that group, so we don't need to add it again. Then we go to this, we get a 0, we don't need to add anything. The same thing happened with these two. We add a group for this one, but not for this one, as this one is adjacent with the previous one. Okay, then we get 0 here, so we don't need to add anything. Then we get another 1, and this is the start of a new group, so we add a 1. But do we need to add anything for this one? No, because this is adjacent with this. Do we have to add anything in this group for this one? No, because this one is adjacent with the previous two ones. And do we need to add anything for this one? No, because this one is also adjacent with previous three ones that occurred earlier of this. So we don't need to add anything more for these three next ones. We only added for this one but not for this. Okay, and finally we have got a 0, so we don't need to add anything. So what's the result that we got? 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is equals to 4. This is our answer for the test case 3. And yeah, that's the answer for us. So how can we keep track of that actually? So I can give you a little bit of hint here, if you guys are interested. Give me a second. Let me just try to get rid of this. Okay, so initially we had GS0. Okay, so when we start traversing, what we get? We get a 0. Okay, so we can keep track of this, like is it a start of a group or not, by simply a boolean. Like we can use boolean found equals false, right? Boolean found equals false, or boolean check, or anything, boolean a b c, whatever. So when will this become true? When will this become true? When we get different things, you know, like when we get 0, this won't become true. Okay, so we keep traversing, we get a 1, we add this to this group, and for this one the found will become true. Okay, and how can we say, like when we have multiple ones occurring one after one, we don't need to add after adding for this? How can we say that? We can say that also with this found. Okay, if we have a 1 and we have the found value is false, we add 1 to the group value, otherwise we don't, you know. Like we have the found value is true, and we go to this 0. So like 0 is different from 1, so we'll make found as false again. Okay, when we go to this 1, then we get a 1 and the found value is false, so we'll make this count and we'll make the found value equals true again. And then when we go to this one, as our condition says, if this index is represented by 1 and the found value is false, then we will add. But now the found value is true, so we can't add anything to the value. So this is the main point. Then when we again differ here from 1 to 0, we'll make the found as false, you know. Then we get a 1, we'll add this because this index represents 1, and now currently the found value is false, so we'll add it here and we make the value as true again. And for this one we can't add anything because this represents 1, but the found value is true now. So, and again when we go here, it differs because we are going 1 to 0, so we'll make the found value as false. The current value of found is false now, and now we are getting a 1 and the current value is false for found, so we add it again. But after that we need to make it true. Then when we get these ones, For each of this one, they all represent 1, but for all of them the found value will be true. And our condition was, if the found value is false and the current index represent 1, we will add this to the group. But as the found value is true, we can't add any group number to G for these ones. And again for this 0, we'll make the found value as false, but after that we don't have anything to traverse, so we'll just print out this addition or result of G, which is 4, and this is our answer. So this is it, guys. I think I've been able to make you guys understand this problem. This has become a little bit longer problem, longer video, but yeah, this was interesting, not so tough but interesting problem for beginners, also very beginner friendly problem. You can understand the test cases from these explanations as well. The explanations are pretty good. The next two problems that I solved, that is interesting XOR and space arrays, these problems are really cool, and I'm very excited to discuss this problem with you guys. And if you guys have any queries about this problem, chef and group, you can let me know in the comment section below. Just leave a comment. And if you want to know about interesting XOR and space arrays, then you guys have to stay with me, keep it up with me. That's it. Okay guys, thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next video. Thank you.